So I want you to think about joy, peace, happiness. Those are things that we strive for, and a lot of the activities or actions that we do are in pursuit of that, whether we know that or not. That we try to make more money so that we don't have to have the fear of not having enough money. So we're trying to secure more peace. So the other day I went to pick up my son at elementary school. He's 8 years old. And when I got there, it was actually decent weather outside. They had just had a fire drill. So you'd see the whole kind of schoolyard is filled with children. They've got them lined up and they're just kind of heading back into the school. And it was so cute because they had these, I'm assuming it was maybe the first graders and kindergartners that were all lined up, and the teacher said, okay, let's go. And I'm just observing this through my car. I can't hear what they're saying, but they start walking back into the school and you watch these kids. And of course they're in single file, but what do they start to do? They start to dance and they start, turning around, and they're walking backwards. They're just making a game and they're just having fun, right? They're just having joyful. The teacher didn't have to tell them to have fun. They didn't have to tell them to do something. They just are pure joy and pure fun, right? At least more likely at that age. And so as we get older, why don't we see that? When we see the odd person that's like always happy and always joyful all the time, we might think that they're strange or weird, right? And because so much just life catches up with us, right? We have bad things that happen to us in life, and that's part of life. But we don't necessarily have to absorb and take those things on. Now, you may have some things in the past that were really bad and say, but you don't understand where I'm at. I went through bankruptcy, I went through divorce, I had cancer, or whatever, and I totally get that. And I'm not trying to belittle those things because I've had bad things in my life that have happened. When I hear about some of the other things that have happened to other people, I think, man, my life has been pretty easy up to this point. And so, but the point is, whether you're going through a bankruptcy or divorce or whatever challenging situation you might be going through, number one, to recognize that there's always going to be challenges. That's part of life, okay? So don't think you're ever going to get to the point where it's just, life is just hunky-dory and there's no challenges and nothing's going to change. That's going to happen. That's part of life. But can you, and this is a decision you have to ask yourself, can you choose to be joyful and happy despite whatever things are going on? Can you make that decision? And that's harder in certain situations where things seem like they're going really, really bad. But I can tell you, and I'm not perfect at this, but I've really been intentional about trying to pursue this as it's gotten much easier for me over the last few years, is just really pursuing peace and joy and happiness despite whatever results might be happening in my life at that time. And I found that as I pursued that peace, joy, and happiness, better results are showing up in my life on top of that. And there's lots of research on this too. So what can you do to just ask yourself that question and have the intention of just being joyful? And I promise you, as simple as that sounds, of just having the intention that, you can write it down at the beginning of the day. My intention today is to be happy and joyful, no matter what results might show up in my life or what situations might show up in my life. You're going to start to be more joyful and happy. I know it sounds really simple and it's not perfect, and I'm not saying all your problems are going to be solved as a result. But if you pursue that, you're going to be happier overall and your life is going to be better. Now, what does it have to do with health and chiropractic? Well, lots of research on this, but the more relaxed you are, the more joyful you are less likely to develop subluxations. That's one of the biggest things when people come in and they did pretty good at their adjustment last time I saw them. They come today and they're really just jacked up, for lack of better terminology. They're tight, there's more inflammation, there's spasm. The majority of the time, unless they had an actual injury, almost the majority of the time is like, man, you're a little more tight here today, you're different here today, anything different going on? Oh yeah, lots of stress. That's the most common answer I get. I got stress at work, I got this going on, I'm increased stress. So stress really impacts our nervous system. So if we can pursue that joy and happiness, it's gonna decrease that stress. And I'll continue to give you more tips on this, but that sounds so simple, but if you just have an intention that I'm gonna be happy despite whatever might happen in my day. And it's not gonna be perfect, so you're gonna be, joyful and happy, then something's gonna throw you out and you're gonna get mad for a minute, but just have the intention of getting back on, okay, I'm gonna handle this situation, but I'm gonna enjoy it from a point of joy and peace and happiness.